Hello. Welcome to the Skeins of Dreams YouTube channel. I'm Megha. I'm also known as Skeins of Dreams on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's the 25th of December, so Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates. I'm off from work between Christmas and New Year every year. And we have like an annual closure and everything, so I thought it would be the right opportunity. I should record a video. So thank you so much for joining me today. I have knitting, sewing, and quilting updates for everyone, so I hope you are enjoying this. I think the video will go out maybe tonight, so by the time you watch it, it's probably sometime during the holiday season. So I hope you're having a wonderful time with your family, and grab a beverage of choice and join me as I talk about things I've been working on. I have been knitting, sewing, and quilting pretty I want to say regularly. Like, I've just been making one thing after the other. I just have not had enough time to come and record a video and give you all the updates. So I'm super happy that I'm able to do that today. Yeah, so let's get started. I have no memory of what I said or didn't say last time. So I think I have a few finished objects since you last. I definitely have some gift knits that I you probably haven't seen since I was last here. I'm looking down because I'm just opening my Ravelry for one of the projects that I want to talk about, and the first one that I want to talk about has just completely escaped my brain, but okay, I have it now. All right, so the first finished object is a pretty big one, and this is the Cardigan No. 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I can see there's like a beam of light coming in through. Anyway, it's Pittsburgh, it's December, so the lighting is iffy, but I'm hoping that this is the best position to be in with the lighting. So this is Cardigan No. 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I have finished it and worn it a bunch since I finished it. I wanted to show you. I put some toggles in here, but I will say that my toggle insertion is a little iffy, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna pop out anytime soon. So I need to go back in and strengthen. I just tied, like, I used the same yarn that I used to knit this. I tied it around the toggle a couple times, and then I tied a knot in the back, but I just did like a regular double knot, and I don't think that's sufficient. I need to do a better knot, or I need to use a stronger thread or something. So anyway, I need to fix that, but I'm done with the cardigan. It's really big, and yeah, it's huge to the point that the sleeves are quite big, and if I leave the cuff out, it's too big, so I've been wearing it this way, and even then the sleeves are pretty big, but it has become one of my favorite home or house cardigans to wear, just because it's so cozy and fluffy and big. I think I didn't like it the first week I finished it, because I prefer having smarter clothes that I can wear to work, and this one I would never wear to work because it's just too big and floppy a little bit. Like, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's not my style to wear to work because it's not smart, and it's more casual looking. I do like all the details in the pattern. Like, I did like tubular bind offs for the entire cardigan, so I did add those little details. You can see that I did it on the button bands as well, and This yarn is Miss Babs Yowza DK, held with a woolberry fiber company Suri alpaca. So I think it's like a 16 stitch gauge, and I will say that using superwash and Suri has made it pretty heavy. So I do want to go and reinforce the neckline. I think I'm just gonna crochet with like a cotton yarn or something. Someone left that in the comments the last time I was talking about it, that better than elastic, they've found that yarn that doesn't have any give to it, like if you crochet with that, like a band around the neckline, that might be better. So I'm gonna try do that so it doesn't pull down, because it's such a big and heavy sweater. Like it's a big size, like whatever, 54-inch finished bust, and really long because it goes past my hips. Not past my hips, I think it sits at my hips, and I'm a tall person. So it's a very big and heavy sweater. So I need to reinforce the neckline for sure. It is one of I want to show you the shoulder construction. So it's a saddle shoulder. So you start with actually knitting these shoulder sections, like just a rectangle, and then you pick up the stitches and cast on some for the neckline in the back, and that's how you form the back, and you knit the back, and then you pick up along here for the front, and that's how you knit the sweater or the cardigan. And I wanted to try a saddle shoulder, but I don't think saddle shoulders particularly look good on me. I think I don't know, I haven't fallen in love with this cardigan like I was hoping to. Maybe I'm being overly critical, but yeah, but I'm really happy with the pattern. It was very nice to knit with. I think my yarn choice hasn't been really I kind of wanted to use stash yarn, so that was my original inspiration. Like I had this beige yarn and stash, and I didn't know what to do with it because beige isn't really my color, so I decided to hold it with this Suri. Well, the fabric turned out to be really beautiful. I think on me it's not the best color. I was trying to take pictures of this cardigan for Instagram, and I had a lot of trouble getting good pictures. I didn't know how to style it because it was too big and not my usual style. I did manage to get a cute little picture of it, but you know, it's one thing to get a nice picture showcasing the cardigan for Instagram, but it's another thing to have a practical wearable sweater in your wardrobe. And the way I posed for Instagram, which I probably would have put here already, isn't really the way I would really wear it. Just because I was wearing a spaghetti tank top and my lander pants, which I sewed, and I think I talked about it in my last video. And that's not really how I would dress usually. I can't leave the cardigan open, and if I close it, it looks a little frumpy. Anyway, all that aside, I'm just still trying to figure out how to wear it. Currently, I've just been wearing it like with jeans and a t-shirt and this thing on top. And if the weather is around like 32, 35 Fahrenheit, which is around 0 degrees Celsius, I'm able to wear this and not have to wear a coat on top of it. Like if I'm going to be indoors, like say I'm going to the mall, and I can just throw it on and go to the mall, and I'm comfortable. I think I wore it a couple of times to the theater. We went and watched a movie a couple times last week, and so I wore it then. So, you know, little outings like that, I'm able to wear it. Something I'm not moving around too much in because it's so heavy. Like I don't think I'm very mobile in it. Like I wouldn't go to the grocery store with this. Like it'll just be like this annoying thing on me. Anyway, I think I'm deviating from the point. I'm happy with it. It has its uses, but I'm not completely in love with it. And that's okay. I think we don't always end up making everything perfectly, and sometimes you think you've made something really well, but then you can't really wear it because it doesn't really go with everything else in your wardrobe. And this color was a bit like that. Like I do have a pair of orange pants, so I can wear it with that, but I'm not gonna repeat that outfit like too frequently, right? Like it's a very specific I have to be in the mood for that. Okay, I think I'm definitely overthinking this, but that's my cardigan number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I will have everything linked in the description of this video, like the Ravelry and all of that links. And the pattern is really good. I had fun knitting it. I think I got done with it really quickly, even though it's so big, just because of the gauge. Yeah, and that's my first finished object. It's huge. The next couple of finished objects, I don't have them with me. I finished his and hers pair of Christmas socks for our dear friends, and I already gifted them. I wanted to get it to our friends before Christmas so that they could wear it for today and maybe Christmas Eve as well. And I've already received feedback that they're super happy with the socks and they've been wearing it while they hang out with their family at home. So I'm gonna put pictures of them. I used West Yorkshire Spinners yarns, both of them, and they're like self-striping Christmas yarn and Christmas themed yarn. And I made the guys version with 64 stitches on a US 1, and I usually just make vanilla socks. Like, I'm not a big, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like knitting patterns on socks is not my jam at all. I only like vanilla socks with a rib so that they fit well. And that's all I want to do. If I want to knit a sock, I want to make it vanilla. I can't explain it. So, and this year I haven't made a lot of socks actually, because I have like maybe 10-12 pairs of socks for myself, and I just rotate them and I don't feel the need to have more. So I haven't been making a lot of socks, but I do like to make them for friends who enjoy them, but not like, I don't know, the inspiration doesn't strike always. Anyway, that aside, so I made the guys version in a 3x1 rib 64 stitch, like 64 stitch cast on, heel flap and gusset, and I made the woman's sock to be 60 stitches US 1, and I did like because it's not divisible by I think, what did I do? I think I did 60 stitches, but I decided to do a 3x2 rib to make it divisible by 5, because when you split it in half, it's like 30 stitches and 30 stitches, and that's not divisible by 4, and I wanted the top to have rib all the way through. I don't know, maybe I'm complicating this too much. I'll put a picture, and I think I took a little video of the socks before I gifted them, so I'll have something to show on the podcast if and when I record it, which is happening today, so that's a good thing. So I'll put a little video of it, and they both turned out really cute. I made the guy's leg longer than the woman's. I kind of wanted to get it done in the month of December before Christmas, so I was also just knitting on these socks and knitting on nothing else at the time, just to get them done, because I think I cast them on the 1st of December or something like that. Anyway, so that is, I guess, second 2 finished objects. And then the third finished object, or whatever, fourth, everyone's knitting these, and I made a Sophie Hood for my friend. So I'm going to gift these as well. And I made this in Sadness Gone Double Sunday in this electric blue color. I'm gonna see if this beam is annoying me. Okay, I moved the camera a little bit. I don't know if this makes it any better, and I don't know that I need to be. No, it doesn't. It's fine, it's just the light. Okay, so this is, as I was saying, the Sophie Hood by Petite Knit. And it was a really simple knit. It took me like 3 days, also because it was during the weekend and I was knitting on it incessantly. I'm not gonna wear it because my hair is not a very hat friendly situation right now. It's whatever. Today is the day of overthinking everything. So this is for my friend, and I'm going to gift it to her soon. I don't have a lot to say about this. This was a very straightforward pattern. It's what everybody's. The thing is, my friend, she sits right next to me at work and we're friends. And she was like, oh, I think a couple months ago, she came to me and she said that, oh, you know what, you should knit for yourself. Oh, this hooded scarf thingy that she was seeing on Pinterest and everywhere. She's really into fashion, so she comes and tells me like sometimes what is trending, and I kind of try to look up if I can knit it or something. Not for myself, but sometimes for her. And like I made her back in the summer. Lemon yellow color was everywhere, and she was talking about that. So I made her. I forget the Vivian Chen blouse. I forget the name of it, but anyway, I made her a blouse in like a lemon yellow linen, and she really loved it, and she wears it all the time, and she feels very fancy in it, is what she tells me. So anyway, so really sweet friend of mine, and so I knit her the hooded scarf. I think she kind of has an idea that I'm gonna make this for her, because I asked her a color that she would like, and I think she might have an idea. So it's not going to be a complete surprise, but it's still something of a, like, it could happen that I mentioned it, but I never actually make anything. So anyway, and I had some yarn left over. I actually still have 2 balls. I'm just removing cat hair from this. Sorry, I did wash and block it, but my cat hair just goes into, or the hair from my cats goes into every single thing I knit, and it's blue and you can see everything. But I made her baby a little ribbed hat, and it is so cute. I hope it fits. He's like 1 year old, but like this thing has a lot of stretch. So I'm hoping this fits. It's the baby version of the Pearl Soho ribbed hat. I knit this on US 3. And I think you cast on like 84 stitches or something, and you just rib, and then it tells you a length. And then I make this hat a lot. Like every time Baljeet asks me for a hat, this is the one I knit. And I've gifted at least 2 versions of this to other friends as well. I love, like, it's one of those sock things for me. I don't knit hats because I don't wear hats. And then because I don't knit hats, I am not inclined to make any patterns. I like one pattern and I just stick with that. I know it's really terrible. I should try other designers and should knit other patterns, but it just doesn't happen. Unless someone asks me, they say, I want that hat, like I would knit that for them. But if it was just up to me, I don't really put too much thought. And I know my gauge and the needle size that works for it, so I just like to stick with that. So I made him a cute little hat, and now I'm thinking that my friend's husband doesn't have anything, and so should I knit him? I think this blue is too blue for him, so maybe I don't think he would wear that. He's my friend too, so I know, I have seen him, and I don't think he wears very bright colors, so maybe I'll knit him a hat and like a moodier blue or something. I don't know, I've not decided. So those were the other finished objects. So that's everything knitting finished object wise. And I have a bunch of works in progress. I don't think I'm talking about too many today. But let me start with, just because we just talked about the Sophie Hood, I have another friend I work with, and she would really like, okay, of course I'm in the end of a row. Shoot. Oh, it's only like a few stitches. Why would I leave the row at like 4 stitches? 3 of which are like I-cord slip stitches. Hold on. All right, so this is another Sophie Hood that I started. This yarn is from Stash. I don't have blues in Stash, so if anyone asks me for something blue, I have to buy the yarn. So that double Sunday for the other Sophie Hood I had to purchase. But this friend, she said, I asked her what colors she likes near her face, and she said anything jewel toned or moody, and so I thought that this maroon would be really cool. And I had this color in Stash. So this is Sunday, so it's Sanasgan Sunday, which is a fingering weight yarn, and I'm holding it double on US 8 needles, and I just started this yesterday night, so I haven't made a lot of progress. That's those are the yarn balls. If you want to know the color number, it's 4372. So yeah, that's the yarn I had in stash. I had bought this yarn to make like something fingering weight colorwork sweater for Baljeet, and I was like, that's not really going to happen. So I I decided I'd repurpose the yarn for the scarf, and that's my first work in progress. I guess I just started this last night, so I'm not in a hurry to finish this. These were not really meant to be Christmas gifts. I like to give these couple of friends of mine, I like to give them something for the winter break or holiday season. So last year I made them both socks, and this year I'm making them the Sophie Hoods. And I don't really give it as a Christmas gift, like I give it, so usually we have the annual closure from Christmas to New Year's, and the first day back at work I just take the gifts then, so it's all good. So I'm knitting another Sophie Hood, and I kind of like knitting stuff for people that I wouldn't really make for myself, because I would never wear a hat or the Sophie Hood anyway. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna gift it to someone else. And I like bigger shawls. I don't really like scarves as much, but I've seen both of these friends wear a lot of scarves, so I decided to do that. Okay, so the next work in progress is a huge sweater, and I'm very close. I could have finished this had I not gone on this rabbit hole of gift knitting, to be honest. But I am knitting Baljeet a raglan sweater. Oops, there's too much happening, but this is Baljeet sweater in the making. I think this yarn, let me begin with how the sweater came to be. So this yarn is Holst Cielo. It's like this really soft blown in type of yarn by Holst Garn. It's really soft and fluffy, and I had this in stash, and I had actually started another project with it, and that project didn't go anywhere, so I ripped it all out. This year I did a lot of ripping of unfinished whips that I clearly didn't have any plans of completing, so I ripped them out. And then I thought Baljeet could use like a plain charcoal gray sweater because it would go with everything. And I've made Baljeet a lot of sweaters over the last couple years, 2-3 years maybe. I've started making him a lot of sweaters, and he's been going to the gym and his shoulders have become bigger, and what's happening to all of his sweaters is they're riding up the back. So a lot of times when he only wears the sweaters I make him. So every day when he gets dressed for work, I'm noticing how his sweaters have been riding up the back, and I'm not liking it, obviously. So I thought that he needs a new sweater and that I need to fix this whole back issue. So what I did for this sweater is I started with the Dorney sweater numbers because I got a 16 stitch gauge on this. So I used Rebecca Close Dorney sweater that I have in stash, and I have in my library, and I've actually used it to make Baljeet a sweater previously. And what I'm doing is I use that. Sorry, I'm just currently losing train of thought because the Oreo is meowing upstairs. I don't know if my AirPods are picking that up. Anyway, so I used the numbers for the Dorney sweater, cast on this thing, and what I ended up doing is adding 2 sets of short rows. So I did one set of short rows. I think this is the back. So one set of short rows right around here. The neck ribbing was done later, so I only cast on around here. And then I did one set of short rows. I knit like 5 inches, and I did a second set of short rows because the mid upper back is where the bulk is. And along with the extra set of short rows, I added extra increases for the back only. So in the middle of the back, like not at the raglan, but in the middle of the back, I added a few increases, and I kind of winged it. Like I didn't really plan. I think depending on my gauge, I added like 1.5 inches extra in the back. And I could have measured him and done it, but I kind of winged it because now I've made so many sweaters for him and I keep trying them on at different points, so I was able to test how it looks on him. This is definitely a bigger sweater, like it's not well fitted, but I wanted to start with something a bit looser so that I can modify it eventually. So that's what I did. That's the only, I guess that's the modification. And what I'm also doing is because his arms are big too, I didn't, usually what I do is when I pick up for sleeves, I just pick like a 1-inch rate of decrease. And I'm really bad at this. I never follow any instructions in any pattern for sleeve decreases. I just pick a rate of decrease and I decrease uniformly because I don't like non-uniform sleeve decreases. Like that's like a pet peeve of mine because I feel like my arm goes down pretty uniformly. And I do that typically for my sweaters, and I had been doing that for Biljit's as well. But then I realized that his biceps are obviously, they're bigger and they stay big for a bit as compared to my bicep. So what I did was I'm doing the decreases at a slower rate for the top so that this 5 inches from the underarm kind of stays the same width, and then I'll start doing decreases regularly. So I think it'll give him more room around it. And it's not meant to be a fitted sweater. I think he just wants some mobility in it. So that's the plan with this sweater. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I picked like a raglan to just keep things simple. I thought I would do a tubular bind off, but then if I have to make changes, like a tubular bind off will be so annoying. So for his sweaters, I prefer not doing that and just sticking with regular bind offs. Yep, so that is Baljit's raglan sweater. I think I should be able to finish it soon. The sleeves are knitting up pretty fast. I had paused this sweater because I was knitting on all the gifts, but now I'm back on it, and it's also like a big gauge, so it'll get done pretty quickly. All right, my next cast on, or the next whip, is a raglan that I'm making for myself. I don't know, I think I explained this before, like when I have a lot of work going on, like when my work is very stressful, I only like to knit on like very simple things, and that's why all this raglan business is happening. So my knits might not be as interesting to watch, but that's okay. That's exactly what I'm doing right now, so it's okay. So this is not a very great position to show a sweater in, but I'm knitting like a very fluffy open air or open stitch whatever raglan for myself. I think even this is 16 stitch gauge. You can see a pattern here. I'm just knitting stuff that is big gauge that gets done quickly and nothing of interest. It's all raglan, but it is what it is. Sometimes I knit interesting things. So this is also a suri and fingering held together, and let me show you the, oops, where is the yarn for this? Did I finish? No. So it is, it's a mess in my bag. This is Drops Suri, and wow, I cannot find the, what is this black hole? Finally, and this is Fleece and Flax by Sonder Yarn Company. I have 3 skeins of this, and I wanted to make something for the summer in this yarn, but this is a BFL linen blend, and I don't think I can wear like wool in the summer. Like it has to be a fall sweater, and then I only had 3 skeins, and I kept thinking, what should I do with it? And then I realized I've been doing this thing where I'm trying to match like different yarns from my stash and try to use them up, and this Drop Suri was in my stash and I found them to be a perfect match. So I decided that I'm gonna hold these together and then knit a sweater, and I really love the fabric it's creating because the flecks of the linen are kind of standing out in this thing, and then it's also a fluffy, I've realized from a lot of the sweaters that I currently have, like one of my lentos, which is like a fingering and suri held together, is one of my favorite things to wear because it's so lightweight and yet warm because of the suri. And it's like a simple sweater that I can wear with so many different trousers. So I decided that I needed more of these, and my plan is to also cast on one in green because I don't still have a green sweater. Like, I cannot believe how this is happening. Yeah, I don't have like a dark green sweater. I have a colorwork sweater that is like a very grassy green, but I want like a solid dark forest or bottle green kind of a sweater. So anyway, that aside, obviously this is a rust sweater. I'm talking about a different plan while I'm talking about this whip. So yeah, I'm at the point where I have to do some what Rebecca actually, the Creabea calls knitting admin. I want to split for sleeves, but I want to decide if I have to knit a couple more rows because again I winged this raglan. So what I want to do is actually get out a different skein of this yarn, wind it, and knit the neck first. And the neck looks currently very wide, but I'm going to pick up and then maybe add some decreases so it like comes in a bit. And I'm going to do it in a much smaller needle. So I'm knitting this on US 9, I think, and I'm going to do the neck with like a US 6 or something. And so once the neck is done and I know how the sweater is going to fit, then I can decide to add more increases or not. Sorry, my shirt is riding up. I can decide to do more increases or not, and then split for sleeves. So I cast this on before Thanksgiving, which is like the 25th or something of November, and I have not gotten to it. I just got distracted by everything else. But that is the plan. After I finish Biljit's sweater sleeves, I'm going to get back to this, knit the neckline, decide the splitting of sleeves, and then do it. Because once the sleeves are split, it's so easy because you're just knitting round and round and round. And this bag has had all of this, so it's like a mess over here. So we're just gonna leave that mess for later. So I think I may have used the Dorney sweater numbers for that one too because my gauge is similar. Actually, no, it isn't. I started with the Dorney, but I realized my gauge is much bigger, so I changed the rate of raglan. I've been winging a lot of sweaters, especially if they're raglan, and those of you who watch me know this, that I wing a lot of raglan sweaters just because sometimes it's easier for me to not bother about following a pattern and just doing whatever I feel like. And I know that doesn't always make for awesome content or whatever, but it is what it is. And it just so happens that this particular episode, there's a lot of that going on. I hope you're okay with that. Okay. So those were all my current whips. I do have some acquisitions that I would like to share. I was working on this project for the last 3 years at work, and it concluded this year, and my client gave me a very good feedback, and that feedback got shared inside my company and everything. And so my manager asked me if there's a local yarn store that I really like. My manager knows that I knit, and she always asks me about stuff that I'm making and everything. So anyways, she asked me if I like a local yarn store, and I sent her the name of Moon and Yarn Craft Room, which is in Pittsburgh, and she gave me a gift card to use for the yarn store. So I decided that I'm gonna save the gift card for the holiday season and then go use it, and it'll feel a little like, you know, treating myself for Christmas and everything, because I knew that I'm not just gonna stay within the gift card. Like, who does that? So what I ended up doing is go to the yarn store, and I wanted to find, of course, a sweater's quantity of yarn for something, but then I also saw this really radiant, beautiful skein of yarn. This is by a local dyer. She's called Chronicles of Cheryl, and this is a sock weight yarn, and I really like the color, so I thought, okay, I'm going to get this and make a pair of socks for myself, because I've not made a pair of socks for myself in a while, and making my friends' socks kind of invigorated me to make socks for myself. And then I picked up 2 skeins each of these 2 colors of this is the Fiber Company Amble yarn, which is technically they market it as a sock weight yarn, but it's so beautiful. I really love these colors. Of course, you know they are my colors. So I have 2 of this and 2 of this. What are the names of the colors? This is Kaluna and this is, I don't know, Hollyberry. So I have 2 of these and 2 of these, and I want to make myself a striped tee. Now I have not decided what, like if I want to use a pattern or if I want to wing it as always and like make a raglan, or if I want to make like a drop shoulder. I'm gonna swatch, figure out my gauge, and then see if I have a pattern in my library or something that I know which will be cute. And I kind of want this striped top. It'll be so cute. And these are definitely my colors, all the shades of pink. So that's what I got. And then this is a side, I already used up my gift card by now. The other yarn that I recently purchased is that I have been eyeing the Farmer's Daughters Fibers Pishkun DK yarn a lot. I've been eyeing it for over 3 years now. Every single time, like I go to a yarn store that has Farmer's Daughters fibers, I always look at this one particular colorway, and I have been in love with it for at least 3 years. I'm not even kidding. And I buy all of this yarn, and somehow I never bought the one that I've been thinking of forever. It's a little pricey, I will say, and I only think in terms of sweaters quantity, so it gets really expensive. But then finally I was like, you know what, it's happening, I'm buying it. And this is the evergreen colorway in Pishkun DK, and I signed up for a test knit for Heidi Kiermaier, which is a cabled pullover, and I was supposed to cast it on like 10 days ago, and I haven't done that yet. It's due mid-January, so I have to cast it on soon. And this is the color of the sweater. I already swatched, so I know I meet gauge. I just have to cast it on. I'm just trying to get some of these things done, and then I'm gonna cast this on. Or maybe I should just cast it on today as a Christmas cast on. But because I'm home, I know I can get a bunch done while I'm home. So that's that. That was also a recent acquisition. And I've wound up one skein and swatched. It does have some tonality to it. So I think I'll have to alternate skeins to actually get to not have any stark distinctions where I change skeins. So I'm going to do that. But this is happening soon. I've already picked out a fabric that I have in stash, which will make really good trousers that'll go with this. So I have like a whole outfit planned. It's gonna happen in January. All right, I think that was all my knitting content. I'm gonna talk a little bit about sewing now, and yeah, let's get started with my sewing escapades. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is I made another shirt for Baljit, and he has a buffalo plaid flannel shirt now. So this pattern is the Fairfield Button Up by Thread and Theory or something like that. I've made Baljit like 5 shirts in this year, and I made him another one. And why fix something that's not broken, right? So this pattern fits him really well, and I've figured out how to make this. Like, I know all the steps now because I've made it so many times this year, and I decided that he needs another one in plaid, and he looks really good in plaid. So this looks really good. I will show you an error. I know we're not supposed to point out our errors, but I never knew that plaid has this skewing tendency, and you're supposed to rip it along the grain and then like stretch and strangle it a little bit to straighten it out. And so you can see when I did the yoke, it's fine here, and then it just skews off on this side. But I decided that it's okay, and I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, no one else knows except for me. I don't think when he wears this to work, anyone notices that. But I will say that the fronts line up really well. Like the pattern matching on the front worked out really well, and you can see here where the buttons are done, like the pattern matching is pretty good. So super happy with how this turned out. I have been obsessed with sewing shirts lately, and doing like things like the sleeve tower and everything have become like one of my favorite things to do. I don't know why, but like there's a lot of activation energy required to set up your sewing space and then actually start sewing. But once you get into it, it's like follow the instructions and don't think beyond it. And I really like locking in like that and just not having to think too much. Like there is a set of instructions and I have to do exactly what they say and not use my head at all. I like that. So yeah, that was one of the first things I wanted to show you. I hope I didn't show you this the last time, but anyway, now you've seen it again, if I did show you the last time. And then, hold on, I need to get this one. If you watched my last video, I was talking about making the Friday Pattern Company Ilford Jacket in this beautiful berry corduroy I have, and I made it. And I lined it with this beautiful rayon fabric that Salma gifted me, I think last year when we met at Rhinebeck. And I put a little tag on it, and it's just a heart. And this has been one of the most, I'm so proud of this make, and it's been so nice to wear a jacket that I've made myself. And I put these really cool snap buttons on it. I will say that the snap buttons aren't the best because I think while putting a few of them, they got distorted a little and they don't snap or hold the weight of the jacket. But I don't always close or button up my jacket completely, so I'm okay with it. And you basically live and learn. So the next time I'm not gonna do snap buttons. I just didn't want to bother with buttonholes on my machine through so many layers of corduroy, so that's why I did the snap buttons. But I think the next time I'm gonna hand sew buttons. I think I'm crazy enough to try and do that. I've been watching a lot of hand sewing decorative buttonholes in coats kind of videos, and I really love how the process seems so I don't know, therapeutic. So I kind of want to try that, and I think I'm crazy enough to do that the next time. But I'm super happy with this Ilford jacket. Maybe I'll try this on for you. I need to wear my glasses because I can't really see anything from a distance, and I've not been wearing glasses because the light was shining on them, but I think the light is not shining on them anymore, so I think I should be fine wearing these now. Give me 1 second, and once again, please do not judge me for my outfit right now because I'm wearing a nice shirt on top, but just my pajamas at the bottom. The pajamas are also sewn by me recently. They are the Hudson pants by True Bias. So give me a second. Oh, can you see? Yes. Okay, I don't look that bad because everything is a shade of red or pink, so it's okay. Yeah, this is my Ilford jacket. There are side pockets and there's one breast pocket, and I love how this fits me, and it's big enough that I can wear a sweater underneath, and then it's quite warm actually, especially if I'm wearing a sweater underneath and then this on top of it. It's like wind cheater max, and the lining helps as well. And I am so thrilled about this make. It is so beautiful, if I may say so myself. And if you remember, I had made Winslow trousers in this corduroy, and they were a really bad pattern plus fabric matching because this corduroy is heavy and elastic waistbands are not what it's meant for. So I ripped my corduroy pants completely. I unpicked the stitches. Actually, I cut the serged edges and I repurposed the fabric to make this jacket. I did have extra, like 1 yard extra, so I was able to cut out some of the pieces like straight without having, but like the sleeves are from the pants. and then the collar and everything are from the pants, but I had enough to cut out the front and the back on a single piece. So this is my Ilford jacket, and I am so happy with it. I love the look of these snap buttons on the jacket. They're so cute. All right, so that was a big make. I think I made it early November though, so I've been wearing it quite a bit, except for like when it's been really cold, then my puffer jacket comes out. I do have plans to make like a woolen coat. I have the fabric, I have a pattern. I think I'm gonna try the closet core Phoebe coat, but it's just one of those mental block things because it's a long-term and pretty big project, so I'm gonna take my time to do it. And I also signed up for the Closet Core's coat making course, and I've been listening to that now and then just to pick up some tips and tricks and everything. And it's been pretty good, because I'll show you a next make that I make, which is really spectacular, if I may say so myself. And I use one of the tips I picked up in the coat making course. So every year my company has a holiday party at the end of December, and it's at this really fancy club, and you get to all dress up really fancy and go and have some hors d'oeuvres and drinks and hang out with your work people. And like it's a +1 kind of thing, so people show up with their partners or anyone else they want to bring, and you dress up really nice. So I kind of wanted to make a dress for this event, and I've always wanted to have a velvet dress, and I decided that that's what I'm going to do. So I purchased this black velvet from Mood Fabrics, and oh goodness, it's a lot of fabric, obviously, because it's a wrap dress. I'm going to, sorry, it's all, one of the things about this beautiful fabric is there is no wrinkling at all. So I never folded it properly. I just like put it in a lump in my closet. Hold on. I'm not the best podcaster today. So this is my Kielo, I don't know how to say it, Kielo wrap dress. It's by the named clothing pattern company, essentially. It has ties for a wrap, and there's no way I can hold it up and you can understand what this looks like on me, but I made this like a week ago, not a week ago, like the party was on the 19th, which was a Friday, I think last week, and I made it the Sunday before. I had the fabric with me for 3 months, but of course I made it the week before the actual event. And I had been looking at this Kielo wrap dress pictures and other people making them, and it looked so nice, and I had this vision of making it in velvet, and it turned out really well. And talking of the coat making course, and what I used is this is the shoulder seam of the dress, and they asked you to use like some reinforcing tape to sew the shoulder so that it can be strong enough. And one of the tips that the Closet Core coat making course shares is that you can use like a cotton linen selvage edge that has been washed and treated already, so it's already shrunk and everything, and you can use that and sew it along your shoulder seam to give it more strength so that it doesn't go anywhere. Like there is absolutely no give to this, and I use that on my shoulder seam, so I was really happy with being able to use that trick. And yeah, the dress was kind of nice to sew up. I did make a very big rookie error in this. The front and the back naps don't match. The front is reversed. Is it? Yeah, so the softer portion is going up, and the back, the softer portion is going down. And when I was cutting the velvet, not once did I think about nap of the fabric. And I had just made the corduroy coat, so I knew about nap of fabric because I had to pay attention for the corduroy coat for that. And it did not strike me even once that I messed this up on this dress. and I realized it after I had finished the entire dress. And it just suddenly struck me, did I ever check the nap of the velvet? And then I felt it and I was like, oh no, it has been reversed. Now, this pattern might be the best pattern to make that error on, because the front and the back are like one big panel is the front and one big panel is the back. And when you wrap the thing, it almost looks like you can see the difference in the way the light hits the front and the back, and you get this wrap portion, and that's the only portion you can kind of see the difference, and it almost looks like a design feature. If I had made something that was paneled, for example, like a skirt with like gores on it, and if I had messed up the nap in one of those panels, it would be so much more obvious, because you just have this one thing sticking out the front that has a different way the light is hitting it. But I got lucky that this was the best possible pattern to make this error on, and it was like a dimly lit event. It's like an evening thing, and I don't think people who are not sewists would ever catch that, to be honest. Like, I got away with it very easily. It's definitely a rite of passage to make errors like that on things which have nap. I do really like the finishing on the inside. I did use my serger for most of the finishing. I'm really proud of this make, actually. It was actually pretty simple to make. There's a slit in the back. I think the slit was probably the most untidy thing I did, but you can't even tell just because it's black. You can't really tell. But yeah, I'm so pleased with how this dress turned out. This fabric is really good. This was by Mood Fabrics. It's got, obviously it's a stretch velvet, and it was interesting to work with. It's pretty sturdy and stable, but I think like folding it and doing hems and everything wasn't really easy, I would say. Plus I was doing the whole stretch stitch and everything, so it wasn't really that easy, but it got done really quickly because this dress has very few pattern pieces, and it's very effective for how few pattern pieces it has. The other thing is, the pattern asks you to put like interfacing in the belts, but this fabric was not really interface friendly. Like, I put interfacing and then I was able to just rip it out. It never stuck to the back, but I would say it's sturdy and stable enough that you don't really need interfacing. Like, the belt stays up like this and there is no problem with it. So my holiday dress turned out to be pretty good. I do have a nice video and a picture of it, so I hope I've already put that on the screen here. I didn't really get to take good lighting, pictures in good lighting, because it was already like nighttime by the time the event was happening. I literally have to wear this, get ready, and take a picture during daylight to get like good pictures. I have been thinking of getting like diffuse lighting or something, like fake extra lighting, so I can do all of this content creation, but then I'm like, do I really need it? But anyway, for you, I'm gonna put up that video and the picture that I took of myself dressed up. And typical of last minute things for holiday, like party like events, the evening before the actual event, I had to go get myself a pair of heels. I don't wear heels because I'm decently tall, and I never got into the habit of wearing heels, but ballet flats were not looking good with this dress. I was like, I put so much effort into making this dress and now my outfit kind of looks stupid. So I went out and bought myself some block heels, and as like minimal as possible, but they were still 2-inch heels. So I had to do that last minute, but it all came together. The party was really fun, my dress was really good, I had a really nice time, and it's so comfortable. Like, you don't even feel like, it's stretchy and comfortable and a wrap dress, so you don't feel like you're wearing something uncomfortable for, like, you know, fancy events like this. Sometimes you end up dressing in not so great outfits, not so great comfort outfits, whatever. This was just like wearing pajamas, except my shoes killed me, but whatever. Now I have a pair of heels to go with any future party dresses that I make. Okay, I think those are all my sewing makes and things that I wanted to share. And plans wise, I definitely have a lot of sewing things that I'm planning to make. I have kind of calmed down about making stuff all the time with sewing and gotten back to knitting. It could be the weather, it could also be the fact that I'm now sewing stuff that I find is missing from my wardrobe, because I'm basically banned from buying clothes of any kind now because I've been sewing as well. So anytime I feel like, oh, I think I'm lacking this in my wardrobe, I end up going and making that, and it's been pretty good. Yeah, so I think that was everything sewing. Okay, quilting. I went earlier this month, I went to a friend's baby shower. And I went to Buffalo. So I drove to Buffalo for a weekend, and a very good friend of mine, it was her baby shower. She's due in February, and I obviously wanted to make her a baby quilt. So I made her a cute little baby quilt with some beautiful sheep themed fabric that I found a fat quarter bundle that I bought, and I made her a quilt. Obviously I don't have it on me because I've gifted it to her already. I'm gonna put a video of that quilt, and it turned out really sweet and I'm super happy with it. Nothing much to write home about. I did the math myself as usual. I like to do that with quilts, and I did the math, and it's like a Irish chain quilt, but the placement makes the pattern stand out in like a specific, I don't know what the name of the quilt is or the pattern is, but I had a lot of fun making it, and it's like a 60 by 60 inch baby quilt that I made. I usually make 60 by 60 inch baby quilts because I want the parents to be able to use them however, and not just for the babies, so it could be a throw on the couch for all you care. Just the theme is very baby-like because this particular friend of mine is really into themes, and she's very seasonal. She decorates her house like by the season and things like that, and for those people, I think they prefer themed items. I myself there is no seasonal decoration. Everything looks the same all year round, and so for me, anything goes, right? So that is one of the most recent quilts I've finished. And my current quilting project, I have been storing them in these boxes, and I really love them because it makes everything so neat and tidy. I'm making, I think they're called something like jewel box or something. I can't remember. So this is a block, and I'm making this in this pink and mustard themed fabric. I think this is Riley Blake butterscotch something fabric collection. So it gets sewn up so that all the half square triangles are pointing to the center, so it gives a really nice, I can't explain it without actually sewing it up, but I've been making these tiny little blocks. I did my math wrong and I didn't have enough of the fabric, so I had to buy more because I was missing some of the fabric for the half square triangle. So I started this quilt early in December, but I didn't make a lot of progress because I was waiting for more fabric to make the half square triangles. Now that I have them, I cut up the new fabric yesterday, and I've started assembling some of these blocks, and I'm having a lot of fun. So this is also going to be a gift quilt for the friends I actually gave the Christmas socks to. And what I have planned to do is the guy and the girl, they are very different in the color palettes that they like. The girl is my friend is very much into like soft colors and things like that, and the guy, her boyfriend, is really into dark and moody colors not moody, but like he wears a lot of bright colors and he looks really good in bright colors. So I decided to give them 2 quilts. It's going to be the same pattern and it's going to be almost yin and yang, because the other one is going to be super moody and this is like super soft and pretty and everything. So I bought batik, saturated batik, like a rainbow palette, and I'm going to do the background in black. So it's going to be a really poppy quilt for him, and then it's going to be a soft one for her. I think it's easier for me to do 2 semi twin size. I say twin, but I make them pretty big. I think this is going to end up at like 68 by 70 something, so you can sleep under it. But I do prefer making 2 of those size rather than making one big quilt that people can share, but then it's like a queen or a king size quilt, and I've done that in the past and it just breaks my back making the queen and king size quilts for people. I think I made, anyway, so like I like to make bigger but for a single person quilts anyway, and I decided that it'll be cute to do the yin and yang style. So you're gonna see the black and multicolor one at some other point. I have not started cutting the fabric yet. I wanted to finish this quilt because I'm considering gifting the first one and then gifting the second one whenever it gets done. But if I have the mojo and I kind of make the other one in another month or something, maybe I'll just give them both together end of January or something like that. I don't know. I'm very ambitious about these things, but I'm letting myself do whatever I please. And I have to tell you, the funniest thing was the other day I had a dream that someone stole this whole box from my house and I didn't have this work in progress anymore. And so I woke up in the morning and the first thing I did was like, I need to finish this quilt. Someone's gonna steal it. Not really, but I don't know why someone randomly stole my quilt project, not even the whole thing. So yeah, it's been really fun making this quilt, and for Christmas Baljeet gifted me an iPad, so I have my sewing set up and I have the iPad in front of me and I watch YouTube videos or whatever else. Lately I've been rewatching Schitt's Creek and I just quilt away or sew or whatever, and it's been so good. So that is my current quilting project. All right, I think that was everything that I wanted to share with you today. I know it was a considerable amount of stuff that I've been doing. It's just that work has been busy, and what happens is, okay, the weekdays I have absolutely no time to record because by the time I come home now it's like dark. Weekends are the only time I get to record, but then we have stuff to do over the weekend, like there are chores or that I have to go see a friend, and then there's no time to record a video. So, and I don't get to work from home at all now. I think until last year I was able to work from home enough that sometimes I would wake up early, get dressed, and if it's like bright out I can record a video before work begins. But that's just not possible anymore because I have to go into work, and me driving to work and coming back is like a whole 10 to 11 hour day because it takes me an hour to get to work and everything. So it's just not working out with my schedule, but I'm so glad that A, that I have a year-end closure, and B, that I got a chance to record today. We do have Baljeet's cousin staying with us for the holiday season. He is going to undergrad, started this fall and close by, and so he is visiting us for the holidays. So I have been cooking and baking quite a bit because there's like more people at home now, so I'm looking up recipes and I've been into cooking a lot. I downloaded a new recipe manager app. I don't know why I never did this before, so that I can create shopping lists and plan meals and everything, and it's been a lot of fun to do that. For Thanksgiving, actually, we were the one fun thing I made a pumpkin cheesecake. I baked a cheesecake, and I took it over to we had dinner with some friends of ours in Pittsburgh, and so I took that over for Thanksgiving dinner. So I've been really enjoying using like a planning app to plan out baking and cooking and stuff like that. Yesterday I tried to make a homemade lasagna for the first time. It turned out pretty well. I will say that the edges were very dry because I didn't realize how much pasta sauce I needed for a homemade lasagna, and I think I was a little low on the sauce. So I did that, and then something else fancy I made recently. Oh, not fancy, but one of my friends, she brought some soup to work, and it smelled lovely. So I asked her what it was, and it was a cabbage farro soup, and it sounded really nice and cozy for the holidays. So I made that. That was really nice. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna put the recipe or the link to it in the description box below if you're interested. So I've been having a lot of fun looking up recipes and trying some of them, and yeah, so that's all I'm doing. All kinds of making. All right. I think that's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end if you're still here. I hope you have a lovely holiday season. Wishing you and your family a very happy 2026. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really grateful for this community that I've built through Instagram and YouTube, and thank you so much for being so patient with me. This year hasn't really been good in terms of videos and everything, but I do have intentions of being more regular and coming back to it. But thank you so much for your patience while I figure out scheduling and all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Do let me know what you're knitting or making and how you're doing. I do enjoy interacting with you through the comments, and thank you so much for all the lovely messages you leave on all of my videos. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season wherever you are, and take care and see you next time. Bye.